Hi everyone, Jamie Cooper with Sensi Connects and Sensi Magazine, and right now I am here with Darren McCarty. Hello, Darren.
Hi, Jamie. Thanks for having me.
Well, how was your day today?
Oh, great day. I mean, to be able to live in Michigan and live in the Detroit area and enjoy a day like this at the end of September where the weather we know can change 4 seasons in a day, but to be out here with all my cannabis loving friends, it was amazing.
Well, tell us a little bit about your journey with cannabis and how it started.
Well, my journey is through the truth and through being an alcoholic and insomniac and almost dying. And what I mean by that is coming to the point where I was 70 pounds heavier. My organs were going to explode on the inside. And without the love and care of this plant and the caregivers with this plant through Rick Simpson oil and really heavy treatment of that bust my relationship and enabled me to, I guess, find out who I really was. And the one thing is that when you come from, great despair and hope, and when you find something of an answer, first you get on your knees and you have tears because you're grateful. Then you get mad when you're like me. And then you're like, because you've been lied to. And it's not about me. It's about how many other people that are like me. So my journey's been going on for over 5 years now. And the reasons we're here today is a lot of the reasons everybody else is here is because it's not about the what, it's about the who with this plant. So the people that are involved, APCO and their labs, and it's their people because, if like take, for example, you have to know who it's coming from, not what it is. It's not about the product. And for me, the most important thing is when I ask somebody, it says, do you know you have an option? And the minute that they say yes, then I move on. But they say no, then I must explain to them. That's how, that there is an option. And that's all it is. It ain't about whether you do or you don't. And then there's so many brilliant ways that you can learn how it works for you. So the stigma of having to smoke it to be effective is so false. And, so it's just something that I just like, accountability. So as long as the truth is the truth, but you can't say that we aren't in 2020. The transparency and the studies and everything is where we're at now, and it's making this plant how to make it so powerful in the way everyday life for me, and I'm grateful for it. So, the only hockey analogy I'll make is I've taken, as hard as I fought for the wing wheel on my chest, I've taken it off, and for the rest of my life I have the cannabis plant here to protect it, and just about the truth. That's all. That's all that my journey is, and like I said, you look at pictures of me and whatever, all it is, it's through education. I say get educated, get medicated.
Right. So, often I have conversations with people that are they just want something to help them. They're at the end, they've tried everything else. And so, what kind of work can we do as a community in the cannabis industry to help people understand it doesn't have to be that last option? It needs to be considered first.
Well, right, exactly, because you understand that instead of being it, like my whole outlook is, and I started when I wrote my book 8 years ago, My Last Fight: True Story of a Hockey Rockstar. I was in the midst of my alcoholism then, but I had to get my truth out and everything like that. So the bottom line is the correlation is that if the mistakes that I've made in the past, like this is how it's going to end, right? At least for me, if you look at that and then it's only a band-aid for you, that's fine. So I think the education of your endocannabinoid system and everything with the spine and how this plant helps it, and the studies that they have in the CBD, which is huge for your body, the CBN for your sleep, the CBG for your digestion, and your circulatory, and like there's so many reasons. So why wouldn't you? We're beyond the time where we go to and some guy in a coat gives us a prescription and we trust him and go eat that. Pills, we've seen where that's gone. Okay, if you don't want me to get mad about that, let's move forward with the education and let somebody know that, oh, you don't want to smoke it, you don't have to. You don't like this, you don't have to. If it's a topical, it's whatever. But it's about the conversation. So it's the education, and we start younger. Which is what I'm proud and I love to see is that, the people that I love and respect in this business, whose kids grow up around it, whatever, have the utmost respect and knowledge through this plant that it's nothing that should be feared or ostracized, but something that's you know, like your apple tree. So it's just a process and getting together like this, and you and I having conversations this is part of who I am, and I couldn't be more grateful. And I mean, you get to do great things like this and enjoy great days. So it's awesome.
Well, you've had the opportunity to involve yourself in some cannabis community events. So, how do you feel about the cannabis community and everything? Us coming together in such a time of uncertainty.
Well, I think it's great, and I think it's one of the things is that first of all, it's different for everybody. So it doesn't matter if you're a cannabis person or an alcohol person or just you're a human being. Things are different. So it's figuring out how to safely and respectfully, maneuver through this time. But it's all about respect for fellow human beings, and obviously, you know, when the tests, we're waiting for the answer, right? So we wait, and you see it in the schools, and you see everybody trying to do their best, and that's
Right.
all we can do. So, for me, being able to, even in this time, I have the Darren McCarty brand, which is my licensing with Pincana, which is the largest seed to sale in the state, and it's because the products that I have out, the pre rolls, where I have a 5-to-1 and a 3-to-1, meaning I have 15% THC but 5% CBD. So the Pucker Up, which is the first one I launched, because I loved it, because no matter at an event like this, if you're experienced or if you're a beginner, it will not shy you away by making you paranoid or too high, and it starts a conversation, because even the heaviest smoker will get the CBD effect. And remember, the
Mm-hmm.
CBD is your body and THC is your head, and it's all a conversation. I just tell people, hey, what do you mean by that? Come all day long. Keep firing them at me. But the minute you want to argue, wrong place. You'd be better off just to Google me.
So, what kind of products are you putting out in the market?
Yep. So, like I said, I have 5 different pre rolls out right now. 3 of them are different degrees of 2-to-1, 3-to-1, and 5-to-1. And then there's an Exodus Kush, which is the night, for my smokers. I have a hemp roll on coming out around Thanksgiving, which is the scent is sort of like a guy's sort of scent, but also too is the what's gone behind it. And Brent, who's works at Pincana, we've worked for a couple of years, so it's really great to be part of the process. And we use vanilla Madagascar beans and squish them for the process of doing it, to be able to have my hands in to what's going to help somebody, and that's what it's all about. And then we're just going to keep dropping different products. I'll have the edibles and eventually flower. But how in this, like I tell everybody, you learn to live resilient and patient when you live with this plant. So it's this plant's a lot to do with if you're a spiritual person, believe in God. There's the correlation to it about believing in something that's bigger and greater for you, by you. And I can't, like I look around and I see it, and it's just enabling the right people to be able to express their wisdom, their knowledge, their pain, their desire. It's just about hanging on. Like I tell everybody, is just hang on, hang on, hang on. And if it is your last resort, okay. But if it doesn't have to be, trust me, you'll get here. Then to your point, I think it's through education, the acceptability. That's the
Right.
beauty of legalization, right? That's
Right.
the beauty of it. It's the conversation that's opened up to the people that were scared.
Right. So, are you advocating to get drug policy changed in professional
I don't care.
sports? You don't care?
Well, no, because if it gets to the point that it should
Right.
be, because I think that cannabis should be off, and or to certain levels, because we realize the difference between opioids and that. I figured that I don't need to be that advocate, because it should fall in line.
Right.
Because I know CBD, and I know that the NHLPA has the Players Association has done a 2-year study with Cannabis Canada on how to incorporate the CBD. So when they do it, and they do it the right way, the biggest thing for me is CBN, right? CBN, which is a component, and it's for the sleep.
Right.
That's what people need. So as
Right.
long as and to be able to give guys like that, that's where I'm at right now, as far as the retired guys and guys that have gone through some mental stuff, having them try it out, because this is a new thing that we never had. So I'm going to spend my time, creating the solution. I'd like to use the analogy is that I'm like a field medic in the war. I'm out here right
Right.
now. I'll let the generals worry about the policy, right, in Washington and stuff, and then I'll let the boot camp worry about training the youth and stuff.
Right.
I'm out here trying to save people, or at least let them know they have the option.
Right.
So that would be, but I'm all for it, right? But it's to know why.
Right.
and to know that the
Right.
CBN for me is the game changer. If you would have said,
Right.
right, if you would have told me that here's a CBN lozenge, you take 2 of these and you're out like
Right.
a knock out a grizzly bear. Holy cow, that saves on the Xanax and all the Valiums and the alcohol and all that other stuff, because all you want to do is go to sleep. So that it's going in the right direction.
Right. Are you finding your like old colleagues like coming to you and asking for advice or wanting
Absolutely.
to know?
And it's always been that way, but it's more to just for the education, or they're open. You see them open to hear the conversation. But the bottom line, and this is goes strict, to our team, is that the guys just love that happy that I'm still
Right.
here, and that I found my way. And now that they see that it's the way to go, and if there's a conversation to help them out, and whichever way they go, they know that I got the most experience and the most education now, and that's one of the responsibilities that I hold, is to be able to educate. Or I don't have the answers, but I surround myself, like you see here, with people that are a lot smarter than me. So there you go to Abco.
Right.
They're a bunch of smarties.
Yeah. So how do people find your products? Where can I go buy your
Well,
products
my
right now?
products, you can look the Darren McCarty brand by kind of, so the Green Genie in like the Livonia area has it. The Reef is medical down on 8 Mile. The Breeze, which is the recreational in Hazel Park, that's the closest. That's probably the one you'll see me at mostly, because I'm friends with them and it's closest to my house. So I know it's at Puff Factory in Bay City. I know it's in Marquette. I know it's around, so you'd have to check. Now the problem is that I'll get it out everywhere it can be. Well, we just don't have the
Right.
product
Right.
right now,
Yeah.
because it's this, the way the season is. But
Yeah.
it will get out there, and so it's just getting the
Right.
word out. I couldn't be prouder.
Well, thanks for being a part of all of this, and thanks for taking time with us today. I really appreciate
And
it.
remember, Jamie, remember this, right? The only time I'll ever get offended is if you think I'm always high, because I'm never high. I'm always fully medicated.
Right.
Have a good one.